guys, Nick here. Thanks for coming by. I really appreciate everybody's patience and all the kind notes to me last week when I wasn't feeling very well. Love it. You guys are absolutely wonderful. So just a quick thank you there. So in my last series video, I was talking about what it's like in rehab. And in the last video, I covered what the detox process is like. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what it's like once the detox is over and you actually begin inpatient care, which usually lasts for about 28 days, give or take. So I've created several playlists on the channel as well, so you don't have to thumb through all of them. So if you're looking for like this series, my rehab series, or if the What My Life Was Like Before I Got Sick, that series is there, as well as a diagnosis series and kind of what happens with that, as well as finally just some motivational type videos that I've done. So check those out on the channel. Now let's get into the gritty. Okay, so once you're done with detox, what will happen is on your last day, at least this is from my experience, you'll be given a packet, which is kind of a series of questions that ask about your mental stability, how you feel about certain types of situations, what types of situations make you anxious. Do you get anxious? Do you get fearful? Do you get angry? What makes you angry? Things like that. And it's a pretty in-depth multiple choice type of test. It takes about 3 hours or so to do. Sometimes they'll give it to you with 2 days to do it, so you just kind of piece it out. Sounds like a lot to do, but when you're finishing up in detox, there's not really a ton to do. So it's awesome to have something to kind of drain your focus. And that results of that are going to kind of plan out what your treatment plan is going to be for those next 28 days that you're going to be there. So now, what types of services they offer are going to vary based on the facility, whether it's a for-profit facility versus a non-for-profit facility. The for-profit facilities tend to have a little bit more, I'll say, cushy perks. It's just a little bit more comfortable, obviously, than a non-profit. But either one are going to have really, really good options and a really good treatment plan for you going forward. A certain part of it will be customized to you. Again, this is based on my experience. Some of it is standard type classes and courses that you'll always have to do. So what I'm going to talk about specifically is my experience and my experiences alone. But I get the feeling that most rehabs kind of go through a very similar process. So normally what will happen is you'll be grouped up with your demographic. Guys are with guys, women are with women, and a lot of times they break off the younger people, 25 and under, into kind of their own separate groups. They have a little bit different needs. Now, before anybody says anything, I'm not going to get into multi-gender, gender binary type stuff, just because in my experiences with rehab, it's only been male, female, and then the younger adults. I don't know what they're like now, but this was as of about 5.5 years ago. So as you start with the actual program, normally you're with a group of people that you were with during detox. So you already kind of know the people, and obviously during detox, you're separated men and women. Now, during your stay, it's usually pretty standard, really mandatory. The men and women are kept separate. A lot of times you will kind of see each other in passing. You may eat in the same cafeteria or dining area, but usually there's a very distinct line. Women are on one side, men are on the other. They do that to avoid, I think, obvious kind of conflicts that might be happening, because you're really not there to socialize in their eyes, but you will be socializing with people that are in your specific group. Now, you're not going to have the same classes with the same people, like I said, but generally you have a basic group that comes in at the same time, and you'll have like a morning meeting with a group counselor that'll be assigned to your group. And it's kind of a roundabout, you know, everyone checking in each day, each morning, seeing how things are going. There might be some hostilities or some back and forth kind of happening in the group. It's a really, really honest process, and you kind of address it there flat out. I've never seen any issues where there's any violence or anything like that. But it's a very, very kind of safe place to be able to talk about whatever's going on. After that first meeting, usually you'll go and get breakfast. Now, in my experience, the food was actually pretty good. Like I said in my last detox video, but I can't speak for all places. But in my case, it was actually a quite enjoyable process. So you'll eat for about 30 minutes, and if you smoke or whatnot, there's often places to go and go smoke. You're always on the grounds, and there's specific areas where you can go smoke while you're there. Now, after you eat, you guys kind of usually go back to your dorm room, and it's considered a medication time. So if you have any normal medications that you take, whether it be prescriptions from an outside doctor or things like that, that's the time when you would take those meds. Now, these are not addictive substances that are given that I've seen. They don't allow, even with chronic pain, they don't allow that on the site. There might be exceptions there, but I've never encountered that. So once you've had your meds, you leave kind of your dormitory area, and you start going into your daily classes. Now, your day is going to be very, very, very structured. And when I say structured, I mean you are pretty much going from 7:30 in the morning to 8:30 at night, obviously with lunch breaks and things like that. But you're really going for classes like cognitive behavioral therapy. You might have AA meetings. You might have a meditation meeting. You might have a one-on-one with a therapist that's assigned to you there. Each one of them go usually about an hour and a half long, is usually about how long they go. But you will be completing certain tasks kind of throughout the process, and you will share those with the group oftentimes at night. A big thing that they have you do is your life story, and they really, really, really want you to get into details of your life story. Now, the reason for that is not to put someone on display or to, kind of poke fun or make jokes. They really, really want to get down to what is the reasoning for your addiction, whatever it is, whether it be alcohol, whether it be opioids, benzos, coke, meth, whatever it is. They really, really get down to it. And I've been in situations where some of them get really, really intense. Some people have had some very, very, very tragic things happen to them. And so obviously as this process is going, you start developing really close bonds with people that you didn't think that you would feel kind of connected to. So as the process keeps going, you check in regularly with your counselor as far as where you're at. They really, really keep you moving forward. They don't want you to really drag your feet through the process. Most recovery programs that I've seen will take you through the first 5 or 6 steps of the 12 steps of recovery. After that is stuff that you will kind of work on in the next stage, which is your IOP, which is what you'll finish oftentimes after you do your intensive inpatient. In IOP, you're no longer living at the facility itself. It's been about a month prior, and there's just kind of some different stuff that happens there. So once you actually and there is downtime. There is downtime in the evening. Me and a lot of the guys sometimes will play cards, or we'd watch TV. We do have TV. You just don't have TV and things like that in your rooms. But there is a kind of a group area. So if there is a sporting event, or sometimes you'll vote on a movie or something like that. In your last week, or your last 2 weeks, often what they'll do is they'll actually have off-site things that you do as a group. You all get together in, the van, or whatever it may be. And you may go to like an off-site AA meeting. At one of mine, we went to some caves that were here locally. It was like an underground caving system that we went and checked out, which was really cool. For some others, they've gone to off-site bonfires. So, I mean, they really keep you engaged. They have gyms, oftentimes, and physical activities. So it really is kind of like a small community that's kind of put in for the purpose of recovery. So that's been my experiences with inpatient rehab. All of them are going to be different, but that's kind of what the next 20 to 28 days after you've completed detox are going to look like. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me and being patient. I know I haven't been posting as much as in the last week, but obviously I'm feeling much better now. And I love the comments. A lot of you guys, and you all know who you are, um, really make my day better when I see your comments and get to reply back. And it means the world to me, and I'm glad that it's helping some of you guys. So in the description below is a link to my Facebook page for liver disease and cirrhosis support. It says East Tennessee, but I've got people on there from all over the world. So if you want to join, just click that link. There's a lot of info there, a lot of really good people in there to talk to. So give it a join there, agree to the terms, and you're in. Also, I am now on Twitter. I was a little late to the party, but I created a Twitter account and started kind of upkeeping it, shall we say, over the last week and a half. So that is at Fortress Farms 82, which is also in the comments below. It is Saturday on Easter weekend, so I hope everybody, if you celebrate Easter, has a great holiday weekend. And as always, I love you guys again, and you guys have a good one.